Well, hello and welcome. As always, I'm your friendly neighbor, Hard Dungeon Master Peter. Today with me are my heroes of Wonderland. They all come from different walks of life in that lovely place known as Wonderland. We have Rachel the na Rocky, Beryl, who plays Beryl.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We have the Silent Feather of the Night. Not Toby. Not Tuba. It's what happens when I forget your characters' names.
Talbot.
Talbot, who is played by Kyle. The jawline of 1,000 woes.
No. Talbot is Travis. Tetsu is
Tetsu. Travis played me. I can no longer trust Travis.
How many drinks have you had?
Too
That
many.
was like
seriously.
that was like 7 slurs in 2 words.
You don't want to... What? Next, we'll go with the beauty who destroys men's lives, but also cause lots of plot hooks. Iris, who is played by Sarah. And then last but not least, the one who's slightly intelligent and blue, Talbot, played by Travis.
Hello.
I would say all together, say hello, my Wonderland heroes.
Hi. God, my throat.
We will work on that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a small little recap. Where we last left off, you guys were still in a little bit of a cave / dungeon-esque. Well, you went through 2 to 3 different trials, which we introduced channeling your magic in different formats, from normal cantrips to first and second level spells and so on. You guys were successful in defeating the bullet and solving the riddle. It took you guys a bit, but you eventually got there. In which my players love to remind me that puzzles are not their forte, even though I continuously keep sending puzzles at them. But then you guys, I just get Kyle's face. It's like, Kyle no like puzzles. If I can't sneak attack it, I don't like it.
If I can't shove a knife into it and kill it and be done with it, I no like.
Alright. Then you guys ran into a new group of people. Kind of like a group of mercenaries. Which made a deal with you guys. If you're able to get a ether heart for them, for their dwarven companion's new weapon, they will be gladly lend their assistance to you in order to stop the drow and orcs from meeting and making an alliance, because this would cause the dwarves inside the mountain most likely a overwhelming defeat on their part, just because it will just drain them of manpower, resources, and everything of the like, and it would just be bad just to have orcs and drow in charge of a beautiful mountain. And I wish I had that pulled up because I can show you why. But for those of you who've been with us and kind of tagging along, the mountain is really a nice little key piece of the land because it can pop out of all of the territories. So it's a very good access point. But we'll go ahead and start. We're not going to have you guys roll initiatives just yet. We will wait on that. But as you guys kind of, take your 8-hour nap, rest fully. I'm assuming rest fully or use your hit points. How resting worked because we took a week off due to scheduling. And Sarah did pass her final.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yay!
I did good.
Congratulations on being a smarty pants.
Thanks. I love going to grad school.
It's an arcana.
Remember, kids, stay in
Wait,
school.
is Senguine here?
Senguine should be joining us hopefully a little bit later. As you guys, wake up, to remind you, kind of in this enclosed room. It has several entrances and exits. You guys are in a little bit of a camp. I'm assuming we'll say you guys slept in, if your character has a tent, you slept in that or some bedrolls. You didn't really have to keep watch. If someone you guys needed to, that's fine. This is going to be the point where you all just wake up together and kind of have that meal together before you guys jump into a unknown hole. So I'll go ahead and let you guys roleplay that. And then we'll go from that point, and hopefully that will give enough time for Yeslie and Elliott to join in.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Well, good morning, sweetheart. Is anybody ready for breakfast? I think I might cook something up.
Yes, breakfast does sound nice.
Delightful. Everybody okay with, like, the basics?
Basics will suffice.
Basics
Wonderful.
includes coffee, right?
It can. Mine usually includes tea, but I can make you some coffee.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
All right, I can do that. And so I will get to busy making whatever breakfast I can provide at that point from my basic stores.
And basic breakfast.
Basic breakfast. I am gonna season it though with my special colored salt.
Rock salt. It's always good to give your companions drugs in the morning.
It's not drugs.
It's just a little pick-me-up, right?
Right.
No. I just thought you guys might like a little extra pop of color in the morning, I always feel much happier when I wake up and my hair being purple.
Much appreciated, Beryl. Thank you.
Very well.
I must prepare my spells. Please excuse me while I look through my books. And at that point, I open up my books, and then I start looking at different pages, looking at different arcane ruins, looking at the glyphs, and I start to prepare my spells.
Well, she's quite just a little bookworm, ain't she? Now, Iris, you said your name was Iris, right?
Yes.
Awesome. How much sugar do you want in your coffee? You want one rock or two?
One's good.
One piece of rock candy. You got it. I just take out a little rock candy and I just drop it in there, stir it in the coffee. All right. I mean, that's about breakfast right there. Is our companions still around?
They are.
Are they up and about yet?
You can assume so. I mean, they stayed in their tents, but you can assume they're awake and just relaxing and just waiting on you all to holler.
Got it. All right, guys. If I remember correctly from before we laid down to go to sleep, we agreed to go and retrieve something for our friends in place of them helping us
Yes.
with the drow.
Yes.
All right. I don't think our fearless leader has woken up yet. Should we try to initiate conversation with them?
Only through the leader. It seems to be how they wish to interact.
Oh, we're going to be at quite a bit of a standstill then for I don't know how long.
Well, there is not much we can do until then, but at least we're up, and when all of us are ready, we can go over and say we are ready to begin.
All righty. What should we do in the meantime?
I'm going to continue to eat in silence.
Fascinating. What about you, Tetsu? What do you think we should do?
So, quick question for DM. Is there like an area that's, because I don't remember the layout of the area. Is there just kind of like a quiet, out of the way area?
Sure.
Cool. So, when everyone else would have woken up, that's where Tetsu would have been. Because he would have woken up early just to kind of do his own little thing. So just as a heads up.
What do you mean by his own little thing?
So he would have woken up early because, again, his character draws a lot from Japanese culture and whatnot and lore. So he, every morning he would have woken up, taken out his sword, sharpened it, polished it, prayed, and done his little things like that. So at this point, he would still be kind of just taking care of his sword and focusing in on it.
All right. Like it. What about Iris? And she's actually right now the only one of the original party who's now inside of a mountain. Yeah, how does Iris feel about all of this? Because she's been through quite a bit now.
Yeah, she's still kind of mad a little bit at her old party members for basically just killing Thoro. She's still mad at May I. She can't really be mad at Core. I don't think that's possible for her. But like, she's slightly overwhelmed with just this like changeover of people and like the new people that have come in. She's now, I'm guessing, like from my hello. Okay. From her standpoint, I feel like she's kind of a little bit more cautious and wary of the new people just because people have come in and out. And then she's also very, very still confused about Landon. Very confused.
Still confused on what?
Happy that he's alive. Happy that he's alive, but it's just like, what?
The confusion with Typhon.
Yeah.
Will Iris get her happy ending? Or will fate torment her and dangle it in front of her face? Find out next week on The Iris Show. Brought to you by IKEA.
I know this character build when everyone died. What?
You forgot to say spoiler.
Question: how much of what you're feeling is visible? Are you keeping it deep inside, or?
That's a good question.
So, the confusion about Typhon is probably the most obvious, just because that's probably what she's mainly focused on. But, I mean, like, you can tell that she's friendly to the new people, but still kind of, like, feeling them out and kind of cautious and everything. Those are the two main things. Because I feel like the anger with the rest of her party and like the frustration, you could probably find out like if you asked her if she was okay, or like if like you kind of prodded a little bit about like, hey, we cool thing. And if she felt like talking, she would probably open up more about like that. But she's keeping most of the like anger towards her former party members kind of inside. That one's buried a little deep.
And so, DM, with my passive insight of, I think, 12. How much of that can I gauge?
Well, since you both are from the female persuasion, you have no idea what's going on in another female's mind. I'm kidding. I'm saying that out of personal experience. Go ahead. Let's roll for it. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Intelligence or insight?
Yes.
Insight, I think, would be more appropriate because that's more in gauging the body language.
Yeah, go for it.
I would say, what are we rolling against for me? Do I need to roll in? Or
I don't think you need to roll anything, Iris, unless you're like trying to hide certain things.
For stealth.
I mean, I really, I think what Talbot just kind of get like a base off of you, just like, what could you be
Fair.
thinking about? Now, it would be more of a higher check if Talbot went like, so, Iris, what is the relationship between you and Typhon? And then you're like, oh, we're just friends. Insight.
yeah.
Oh, dear God, I rolled a natural 1. I don't notice anything.
Oh, you don't know
You
shit.
don't know anything.
Hold on.
You're just like,
Talbot, you notice that Iris is a tiefling who is purple.
You suddenly start questioning, is she really a she?
I haven't asked what her pronouns are.
wrong. Pretty obvious she is a she.
Hey, I've seen guys walk around with bras on. I'm just saying.
And
Okay.
big ass titties like hers?
Hey, I'm just saying.
I mean, have you seen those legs? Hot damn.
Well,
I mean, if you ask Toro.
Hey.
I guess if my character didn't notice anything at all, it can't really initiate any sort of conversation. Because that would be metagaming.
Talbot can see my tattoos. Because those are very visible.
Okay.
So, that's something.
Talbot will sort of peer up occasionally out of her boat, just sort of glancing around.
Oh, the wings are here, guys. Hold on.
And she will notice the tattoos and go, interesting. I really like the tattoos that you have. They look nice.
Iris is just gonna be like, oh, thanks. Yeah, they were kind of a spur of the moment thing, but, one grew into multiple, so.
I can see that. Sorry, I had something unmuted and I wanted things to be mute.
You're good.
What you say spur of the moment? What do you mean by that? Did you get them at last minute?
Kind of. Like, I'd always thought about getting them, and then the opportunity just presented itself, so I did.
Do they have any sort of significance?
Yeah. I used to be before I joined this group, I used to be a part of a group called Dragon Slayers, and obviously my tattoos are dragons, so it was more of a representation of being in the group than anything. Plus, dragons are really cool, so.
Yeah. I can see that. I also have a tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yes. And you'll notice this is the first time you may notice she's had her hood up the entire time that you've seen her. Not once has she taken her hood down.
So what's her tattoo of, Talbot?
Yeah, literally, Iris is just gonna be like, "Oh, so what's your tattoo?"
So,
I'm always up to sus.
sorry, I'm going to the notes for Talbot. What? Oh no, my notes are gone. Guys, my notes are gone.
No.
Is that Travis or Talbot saying that?
This is Travis going. This is Travis going. My notes are gone.
Oh no.
But
Oh my gosh.
I remember a little bit. So Talbot will remove her hood, and you'll see that her head is completely shaved, with some sparkles of a pink hue, and she'll turn her back to you so that the back of the skull is facing you, and then you see in bright neon lights this outline of a pink dragon.
Iris is just gonna look at that and be like, "Hey, we both got tattoos of dragons. Respect."
Question: is this happening around the breakfast campfire where Beryl might hear this?
I'm assuming so.
After serving coffee to Iris. Okay.
I'm not
I just
being
want to know if I could.
My dragon is of Peter. It's Ismet.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sure. We'll say it is meant for now until someone corrects us.
Gosh, Peter, it's this.
It is sort of the symbol of the organization I am with
Cool.
back in Ravnica. And then immediately puts the hood back up and turns around.
I've shown too
Beryl's
much.
just sipping her tea and she just goes, I wonder if they have like relatives in both places. Just because like dragons on both ends is like, maybe they're connected somehow. And that's all. She's just sipping her tea.
Yeah. I understand I'm new. But quite literally, I am an open book. If you or Core, who is your leader, and anyone of the old party, I think even Leander too, if you have questions, feel free. I quite literally have nothing to hide.
Thanks for letting me know. Thanks for showing me your tattoo. That was actually really cool.
It is no problem. And then at this point, Talbot will stand up, walk about 10 feet away, and goes scoring through her spell book again.
All right.
Well, now that was just quite insightful. Anybody else have any tattoos? Tetsu, you have any tattoos under those feathers?
He's far enough away and so focused that he's just out.
Oh, that's right. You off doing your own thing. I forgot.
Damn it, Tetsu.
Edgy. Careful that you don't cut yourself on his sweet, sweet edge.
Well, I'm sorry I don't have anything much fun to share like that. I don't have no tattoos, unfortunately. They weren't too popular where I'm from.
Fair.
I do got a pretty cool rock collection.
I've noticed they've come in handy.
I know, right? But mostly I just like them because they're, soothing. It's nothing like having a nice smooth stone to fiddle with when you're nervous. And then I do have this like cool little bracelet, and it's got all the little stones, and I've carved little charms from smaller gemstones, not rubies with them, but like little lapis lazuli and goldstone and stuff. And it's just little small charms. I got one for each person who, has been a part of my life that's made an impact. And hopefully, I'll get to add a couple more soon.
That'd be really.
Question.
Yeah.
I peek my head out of the books when you talk about your rocks again. Those rocks that you have, do they have any alchemical purposes?
I mean, I'm sure that my sister would say so, but I've never used them for anything other than just peace of mind and channeling of energy. My sister, though, she definitely has irked me several times by powderizing my stones and mixing it into other things. But, sisters will do.
If you have duplicates of any of them, I would love to look at them.
Oh, I have duplicates of all my rocks. I try to keep a good handful of all of them. They just vary in sizes.
Just small pieces of each. It's good to know the different kinds of rocks. Part of my speciality is in rocks and looking at ore specifically. To see
Well, now I don't have any ore. But I can tell you, I do have a couple of rocks that mix well with ore. Like, and she kind of points to the terracotta-looking brown rock with the sparkles, and she goes, "Now this one's goldstone, and Daddy made that one for me. It's a stone that's been superheated with gold, and it's very minute little bits of gold, and it kind of just makes the outside of the stone sparkle a little bit. It's really pretty. It's not worth a whole lot, but it's super pretty."
It could have its uses.
Do you want those rocks now, or you want to get them later? I mean, you're digging through your spells at the moment. I wasn't sure.
Perhaps when this particular leg of the journey is over, when we have some downtime.
Oh, for sure. I can make you up a little medicine pouch. I'll just go ahead and write out the uses for all the stones, and that way when you get done studying them, do whatever you need, then you'll know what they're really for.
Oh, good. I would appreciate that a lot.
All right. She's just going to ferret that away for later. She's going to study. So, like, in her pouch, she's just going to start, like, pushing off and looking at them and be like, this one's a little big, and this one's a little small, and she's going to start separating. Iris, do you want a medicine bag? Would you like a bag of healing stones?
Of course, that probably come in handy.
Delightful. I can set that up. Do you think Tetsu would want one? You know what? He probably don't. Him and my rocks have not had a good start. Maybe I ought to make a little bit of a bandage there before I start offering him things. We'll see about that later. But I'll definitely start putting that packet together for you guys. I'm super excited that you guys are interested. Do you think I should make one for Cole and Leander?
For Core and Leander?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Leander does definitely take a lot of the, like, brunt of our hits, so I know he would probably appreciate them, and Core really likes kind of, like, anything to do with nature, so some pretty rocks that can potentially heal would also probably be something she would like, she'd be interested in.
I definitely felt that about her. I mean, look at her staff. Did you see those crystals on that staff? Just gorgeous. It's almost like they glow from the inside a little bit. Do you think Tetsu's going to come over and eat any of this breakfast? I don't want him to start the day without any food in his stomach.
I have no idea.
I mean, I suppose you know about as well as I do. It's truly an interesting experience being with new people, just kind of shoved together real quick like. It's definitely an adjustment for sure. How is it that your party shrank so considerably that you had to adopt foreign members?
We've had a lot of issues. I mean, it kind of happens with any group that kind of turns into a slight bit of a family. We had differences in opinion, unfortunately, and some of us decided to leave, and some of us made poor decisions that affected other members. So just it's a touchy subject. I don't know if Core would be more open to talking about it than I am necessarily. But yeah.
Families can be a rough thing, especially when it's not always set to be together all the time. We could maybe assume that in time, when things have cooled off, that some members might make their way back, potentially. I don't know the situations. I know that you guys did lose your friend Thoro there. I was at the trial and all, but well, here's the way I was taught to look at this, and my teacher taught me this. And I want to get into my bag, and I'm going to pull out I'm gonna pull out my jeweler's kit because it has a small hammer and chisel and stuff. And I'm gonna pull out a very smallish rock, and it's gonna look I'm just gonna show it to her. Now this is not the prettiest rock in the world, and most people would think it's pretty worthless, gray and dull and kind of chipped, and it doesn't show the world its best side. And I kind of look at this rock and I think, this is a family. This is a group of elements that have been pressed together through time and spontaneity, and they weren't chosen, they were just kind of pushed together, and it made this kind of lumpy rock, and it's not the best rock in the world. But sometimes things happen and circumstances are rough, and I put the rock down on the ground, I take my small little hammer and chisel, and I just crack it right down the middle. And when it cracks open, you'll see that it's a geode, so it's got all the crystals on the inside. And I'll go, but those circumstances can sometimes reveal the beauty of each individual person. And I'll take that half a geode and I'll split it again, so I have a couple of different parts. And then from the jeweler's kit, I'll pull a spool of wire, and I'll begin to spin the wire around the small geode bits, and then spin the wire together into a bit of a tree trunk, into a pretty like tree of life kind of design, and make a small pendant, or like a tree of life pendant with the wire and the geode rocks. And I kind of give it to Iris and I go, and sometimes those little pieces can be brought back together with new elements, such as this wire, and we make something a little better, something worth a little more than what we started with. And we learned that the family that we thought we had, which wasn't great, actually allowed us to become something better. And I hope that whatever troubles your family suffered from, and whatever comes about from that, if anyone decides to ever return, I hope that with the additions of myself and Talbot and Tetsu, we might help to make your family a little stronger and a little prettier and worth a little more.
She's gonna take the pendant and be like, I really appreciate that.
I take the other half of the geode that I didn't bring. I put it back in my pouch. But anyways, are you ready for some more coffee? I'm ready for more coffee. Well, I'm ready for a little more tea. You can have coffee.
Okay.
I should go back to making some more tea in the fire. I'm gonna get y'all over at Tetsu. But Tetsu, you want some breakfast? I'm about to clean up. I might have to throw another rock at him.
I'm debating whether or not he would hear. Sorry.
Well, I had mentioned when you had started doing your spiel with Iris, I did say it, but we sort of meshed that I would have stood up when you were like, I wonder if Tetsu would want breakfast. And Talbot said in response, I'll go check. So she would have walked over to Tetsu.
Okay.
That's what I intended, but
Want to switch over to those two then?
Tetsu.
So just as like a brief little like what you're seeing, you're gonna see kind of like how the traditional Japanese style. He's going to be sitting with his legs tucked underneath him, kind of like on his like knees, kind of a stance.
Mm-hmm.
With his sword out in front of him, just kind of like holding it and praying to it. So as soon as he hears, he's going to immediately like the hands kind of quickly but gracefully grasp onto the hilt of the sword and the sheath, and his eyes are just gonna kind of open and look up at him, or sorry, her. Kind of like, not quite like he was startled, but just kind of like he was coming out of something and not sure what was happening.
I don't mean to break you out of your ritual. I do apologize. Would you like breakfast? Beryl cooked food.
He's gonna just kind of briefly just kind of glance around, just kind of taking it all in, and then takes the sword, puts it onto his side, and then slowly gets up and goes, "Food. Yes, I suppose I should eat."
We must not go searching for something on an empty stomach.
Agreed. A hungry warrior is one who will fight poorly.
Yes. Also, we've been talking about rocks. I know it's not the most interesting thing, but Beryl does feel terribly bad. Still.
Tetsu immediately just kind of sits there and goes, "No, it's fine." Kind of like rubbing where it was, still like knowing exactly where it hit, just kind of like. Just
Is it still tense and sore?
No, just surprising how one small stone can hurt so badly in the heat of a moment.
Yes. I agree. I think Beryl will have learned from this and know not to throw a rock at an ally 60 feet below.
Here's hoping. We don't need a replay of that.
Well, if you need a massage, I can summon my unseen servant to try and loosen up the arm.
No, that'll be quite fine. The rest last night helped with easing my muscles.
Okay. Good. And then I walk over back to the group.
Tetsu would have followed right next to her.
just like a shadow in the night.
As soon as he gets to the fire, I'm just gonna start handing him a plate with all of the stuff that we made: eggs, bacon, the charred toast.
Tetsu will take it after he again sits just like he was before. Put it in his puts it down in front of him. Pulls out a pair of chopsticks like from his sleeve, just chopsticks out. And Sister goes, "Thank you for the meal," and then opens and starts eating.
I kind of nudge Iris a little bit and I go, I didn't think about this when I was making breakfast, but is it okay to feed a kenku eggs? I didn't think about that before I handed him the plate.
Yeah. I feel like he would either, if it's not okay, one, you didn't know. Two, if he's okay with it, he's gonna eat them. If he's not okay with it, he'll just leave it on his plate. He'll be fine.
Okay. I feel kind of bad now. I feel like maybe I should have asked first.
Sure.
Oh.
So Tetsu's now accountable.
Middle of the night, he just starts creeping into people's tents and starts gnawing on them.
Now we know what happened to his clan. Thought we knew you, Kyle. Thought we knew you.
He goes from Cthulhu to cannibal.
I mean, at least it's on the same spectrum there.
I was about to say, I mean, at least I'm keeping it similar. Like, come on.
The
right,
consistency.
It's not like I'm going from being,
They both start with
midget
a C.
to someone who's, like, extremely tall or anything.
This is true.
And
Alright,
blue.
I just switched a hotkey to do a push to talk.
Oh,
What?
fancy.
Getting all fancy up in here, I see.
Speaking of fancy, your dungeon master got a brand new car.
Ooh.
AKA a brand new
Hey.
used car.
Hey, I mean, it's new to you, though. So
It
it's new.
is.
Hey, at least this one has a, driver's side, here.
And both of my passengers' door handles work.
Wow.
And I have AC for the first time in 5 years.
Oh my god. It's been that long?
Mm-hmm.
You have an alternating current?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel that pain though. I had a PT Cruiser, worst car ever, and the door jambs on all 4 of the doors got messed up, so I couldn't ever lock my car unless I wanted to go in through the back hatch and crawl my way forward.
Okay, the next time I have to pick up Kyle, I'm gonna just roll up and say, look him straight in the eye and say, "Get in, bitch."
Get in, bitch. We got shit to do.
We're going shopping.
I mean, I won't tell him that, but he will know.
Slay bitches, slay witches versus slay witches or lay bitches.
Alright,
How
so
did we get on this concept?
we'll go ahead and we'll get going. Yeslie says she's dropping off her grandma, but then she'll be back on, but I don't know how long that's gonna take. So I guess we'll just go and not waste.
Should we wake up? Should we wake up the rest of the party? Some of them seem to be oversleeping.
Well, I mean, we can wake them up if you want to, but I don't know if Core's gonna feel just up to talking to the leader of the other group just yet.
Maybe they will be suffice with just saying we're here and ready to go. Let me go wake everyone, and then we'll immediately stand up and go wake everybody else up.
Leander will wake up and be like, "Oh, I was enjoying a cat nap." Cora will wake up was like, "I was dreaming about the first time I kissed Iris."
This is information I don't need to know. And it's not relevant.
I'm kidding.
Can you ask them if they want bacon?
You don't remember that? That Core gave you a kiss?
I don't. Was that like really early on?
Yeah, that was when we met Clyde.
Oh my god, you're not. I remember now. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, that was way long ago. Like literally, what, second or third session that I was in?
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
what a throwback.
Hey, gotta keep those memories alive.
That's all right. 20 sessions from now, the only thing they're going to remember of a Beryl is that I threw a rock at somebody one time and it hurt.
Yeah, Blue Rock.
And how Rachel's on her 5th character.
Does Beryl like crackers?
Does Beryl like crackers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Beryl doesn't really have a tendency towards any food unless it has something to do with rocks, but she doesn't, you know. I don't get the joke there. I see you guys laughing, but I don't get it.
Really?
Cracker and Beryl.
Cracker Barrel.
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't get it though because I'm so ingrained on her name being a rock that it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, so
Speaking of
Cracker
Cracker
Barrel
Barrel.
it's really folk restaurants that you can.
The real question is, does she have all of her monkeys?
Oh my god.
Real question is, why did she get fired? That's
Oh
it.
my god. I remember that. Wasn't like Susan?
Yeah, I think it was like, why did Susan get fired though? Or like her husband or
Right.
something.
God, that's right. Oh, the scandal.
By the way, Cracker Barrel, if you're watching, you can sponsor us. Hey, we got someone already named Beryl.
And I'm white, so I'm a cracker.
Well, I wasn't gonna say that, Travis, because we're all white.
Hey!
Didn't you just say that you were Mexican like 20 minutes ago?
I'm half, thank you very much. And no, this is the first time you're bringing it up this session.
Okay. So, anyways, Talbot wakes everyone up,
Alright, Core and Leander gets up.
including the dragon.
Senguine just like stands up. Thank you. And then puts on his clothes. I'm assuming Senguine sleeps in a nude.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't know. I just sort of kick his blanket and go, "It's time to wake up," and then leave. Their interaction is probably the shortest.
Thinking of Senguine, it is either A, butt-ass naked, or B, in
All of his
full
armor.
ready
Yeah.
to fight 24/7.
Yeah, but they need to be exhausted from wearing the armor. all
But
the time.
yeah, if he wears the armor, he takes points of exhaustion.
So he clearly sleeps butt-ass naked.
Yep.
That's what it is.
When Eli shows up, we'll inform him on his character.
Yeah. We'll inform him of his choices, A or B. That's it. There is no third.
If I was worried about him disagreeing, I'd say something.
Alright, so you guys they will gather their things, they'll eat whatever remaining breakfast was left, or / rations. And then Core will go and speak with the leader, which will take about 15-20 minutes. At that time, the other members of that mercenary group would kind of just gather the stuff, break the campsite down, and everything, and just kind of keep the bare minimum of supplies out, awaiting your return. Core will then come back and inform you guys that we are ready to go. They are going to open up the hatch, and when we come back, we will have to knock 3 times and say a password.
What's the password?
Unfortunately,
Wait, don't ask those questions yet. I gotta take notes because he ain't gonna repeat himself.
Unfortunately, I'm the only one who gets to know the password. I'm not allowed to share. But in the event of my death, my last words will be the password. So at that moment, we'll be good. Is everyone fully healed and ready to go?
At this point, Tetsu's gonna walk up to the hatch, ready to go, and he's gonna immediately just kind of drop the robes or his kimono, so that way he's in his ninja apparel. Throw that into his bag and look over his shoulder and go, "Are we ready?"
Iris is just gonna be like, "Well, that was dramatic."
I pull out my wand and get in a stance as if ready to start casting some spells.
All right.
Well, Beryl don't know if we're going to be jumping or climbing down, so she's just going to secure her staff onto her back and say she's ready.
All right.
I
The
have it in my hand.
fallen Azamar will walk over and be like, well, I'm glad to see everyone's ready to go. Like the energy. Bring that heart back for mommy. She needs a new pair of shoes. She'll go and lift up the hatch. And you see a ladder that will take you down. It's quite dark. She'll be like, I suggest either lighting a torch or having someone with dark vision lead the way.
Well, I'm sure Tetsu will be leading the way. He has dark vision, yes?
No.
Tetsu, would you like me to hand you a rock with light cast on this time?
He's just gonna.
Or Iris is just gonna be like, "Okay, I can do it, I guess.
He's
I
gonna.
have dark vision."
He's gonna look at you and go. Stealth.
I can be somewhat stealthy. Don't ask me to climb trees.
He's gonna reach out for the rock.
She's gonna cast light on a small little piece of goldstone so it kind of shimmers a little bit. She's gonna hand it to you. It casts light, but because it's a sparkly stone, it also shimmers.
He's gonna take a little bit of rope that he has and make a little sling around it so that way he can put it on his hip, on one of his pouches that he has, so that way he's got his hands free, so that way it's dangling from his side.
All right.
And
I appreciate Sarah for keeping continuity with Iris and not being able to climb trees.
Yes.
So I appreciate
And then
that.
jump over fences at the same time.
that's it. Going.
All right, so
But
you guys.
if you ask me in an enemy camp, I can do that beautifully.
Just not.
Wrong. You did terrible on that. What are you talking about?
Hey, in order to get May I had to weasel my way in there, and they believed me. I just didn't do well delivering him.
Ma'am, I'm talking about when we went to go into the camp that had, what's his name in it? And you and I failed the frickin' stealth. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I remember that.
To the harbor town. But you failed because everyone was distracted by your leg,
Yes.
was what we came to the conclusion of.
Yeah, to get the tieflings in the prison cell.
Uh-huh.
Good times.
Fail.
Hey, to be fair, Iris is now 1-for-1.
An old band-aid.
What was that?
Iris is now 1-for-1 on stealthing.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys each will climb down one by one. It's about a 20-foot climb down, and then it kind of stops on like a metal path. Kind of just like a fire escape, kind of. It gets into that like first level of fire escape.
Mm-hmm.
Which once everyone gets down, at least to that first like level of the fire escape, you'll hear the fallen Azamar above like, good luck, enjoy the spiders, and then the hatch will close, and then you'll see some arcane runes from above you, so below the hatch like light up, and you hear like a locking mechanism happen.
Oh, that's great.
So you guys will keep going, but instead of going like back up the fire escape, you just like go in a circle a little bit, and then continue forward and then it'll lead you down a spiral staircase. That will go down for quite a while. Unfortunately, you guys aren't able to see anything because it's not like a spiral staircase in a grand opening. It's just this pure like spiral staircase and then still stone behind you. So after a while, it seems like it may feel like you're not making any progress whatsoever.
So kind of like a tower-esque. Like we were in a tower going on a spiral staircase, and it's always all this wall and stairs.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Iris, even though she has dark vision, is going to take out her moon-touched rapier because it gives off a little bit of like actual light, and just kind of like hold it and be like, okay, here's our flashlight, guys.
What's a flashlight?
Is this thing working? Oh no, it's going dim. Is it working?
As she like hits the pointy end of her sword, is it working?
Stab, 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 stab. Something keeps going through my hand. It hurts a little bit.
Oh. I feel like that...
Peter.
Yeah, what up, dog?
I feel like what I want to do is I go, is this thing working? Is to use my prestidigitation to turn the light on.
Are you gonna
Can I do that?
Are you gonna go to the wall and like hit a switch and then the lights are gonna come on?
No, I'm just gonna do a wave of my hand. And
Sure. You cut out a little bit, but I got what you were trying to toss down.
Yeah.
Alright, so Talbot kind of just woo, and then like you now have a lot of light in this hallway.
Now that we have a lot of light, do I see anything on the walls? Any writing? Is it just blank stone?
It is just blank stone. Nice and smooth though. The staircase is a little bit dusty. It seems like this place hasn't got much airflow recently. But overall, it's still relatively smooth. Some cracks here and there. Not much maintenance work has been kept up on it, but it's still usable.
Okay. Is there an echo?
A very faint one. Not much, but very faint.
Do I see any tracks on the ground since you said it was dusty? Am I seeing any tracks from anything that has moved through there?
You would see tracks. You can safely assume it was probably from the mercenary group. But it's really kind of hard to make out because it seemed like it was in a rush. You kind of don't know which direction it went because the first tracks then merged into the second tracks going back up.
Am I seeing any tracks that I can figure out like what they might have been running from?
Roll me a perception.
Hey, does that percentile I rolled for my birthday mean anything?
Which percentile roll?
The one you posted on my Facebook wall.
For your birthday. Happy belated birthday.
What was your number again?
It was, let me...
82.
Yeah, it was like 82.
I will let you choose when you want to use that for your birthday.
So that is a dirty 23. So
okay.
Dirty though.
It takes you a bit to kind of like find some things. I'm assuming you're still walking down as you're looking around, or have you completely stopped?
For that, he would have stopped. He would, because if he thinks that there's a possible danger to the group, he's going to sit there and tell everyone just to kind of hold for a second so he can figure out what it is. Yeah. Complete silence, just sitting there going, and then getting low and figuring out what it is.
Okay. You would notice very lightly. It really almost blends in with the stone and then the dust, and like you can probably assume dry blood, and other stuff.
Yeah.
Spider webs. not like full spider web, but it's just like strings of it here and there. And they're not like very thick ones, they're very thin. So you can safely assume to like the reason why it's thin is because either it was shot off quickly, or what was going on was the spider wasn't making it strong enough. It was just trying to get some things out.
Tetsu, while being low and kind of looking at this, relays all this information that he's hearing. He's telling them, the spiders are within this area. They're clearly hunting by the looks of the webs that they're shooting off. They're trying to capture anyone who's coming through here.
Now that we're all stopped, I would just like Beryl to be listening for a secondary echo of maybe something following us or tracking us. And also, she'd like to look up.
I was waiting for someone to say that. Because you know how you always get adventurers by surprise? When they never look up.
Yeah.
But nothing's there, so you're good.
Okay.
But I'm glad you said that.
Continue to look up.
Same thing, Dusty. I mean, it's a good... It seems like the ceiling may get like a little higher the more you decrease. But only by maybe a couple of inches or so, just because of the layout of how the stairs work. Other than that, as you kind of point up, Tetsu can kind of as he looks up too, he noticed that that's probably how the spiders were traveling. Because there's more little spider prints there, but those are of different sizes. So again, it's one of those things where you can barely make out, but with your 23, you can tell there's different sizes of spiders, but barely because it's all mushed together.
Yeah. Again, he's going to relay this going, after looking up going, well, we're not just looking at one size of spider, we're looking at many.
Cool. I'll take the small ones.
He's just kind of completely ignoring.
Do you not like entertainment, sir?
That is Iris' objective for today, is to kill a small spider.
Yes.
Is that Iris's objective or Sarah's objective?
Both.
Both.
I want Sarah to go find a small spider and kill it.
Joke's on us. She's gonna find the small one, kill it, and go, look, I killed it. And then the mom's gonna come out and be like, shh.
Surprising.
No, the worst thing is when you kill what you think is a small spider and find out it was the big one and a whole bunch of little ones come out of it. That's the worst.
The worst one is when we kill the small one, the big one comes out and says, roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative, bitch. It's like, fuck.
Alright, well, just for continuing the storyline, Beryl would like to make occasional looks up as we continue on. She doesn't want to tunnel vision down the stairs because I know that's what stairs tend to do, is make you tunnel vision.
And Tetsu, as soon as he kind of stands up, is immediately he goes into his hand gestures again, and then a hand kind of appears and then takes the glowing stone from off of his hip, and at all times is staying at minimum 15 feet in front. That way they've got a nice cushion where if something decides to attack, it's like, oh, attack where the light is.
Okay.
I could have given you my sword if you wanted that. That gives off 15 feet of light.
He's gonna look at you and go, nice. And then just kind of turns and keeps going.
All right. So you guys this will continue for about 15 more minutes or so. Maybe a little longer, depending on how cautiously you guys are going to go. But you will eventually get to kind of the bottom. It will kind of just slowly plateau out into about a 40 by 40 room. The whole room itself is empty, but it does have two doors. One on the right and then one on the left. Above these two doors, because I'm going to assume you guys, as you enter the room, kind of cautiously move forward. So your light is able to at least illuminate 15 feet away and get it. So nothing happens as you guys get to the center of the room, nor does anything happen while you get closer to the door. So this description will be as you guys are kind of like in a spread out line, and then there's some light over here and then light over here. So you guys can just relay the information back and forth. So two doors, one on the right, one on the left, about 15 feet or so apart to make it a little bit even in the 40 foot by 40 foot room. Both with arcanic runes above each. These doors are metal, and they have, similar to the handle in the previous little puzzle I had for you guys. It has that handle with arcane runes on it.
Tetsu's gonna look at it and immediately look back for Talbot and go, might want to take a look at this.
Of course. Let me look. And then I'd like to inspect the rooms.
All right, Talbot. Quick question about your race. Does your race have its own language?
Yeah. Bedelkin.
Cool. So part of the runes is written in Old Vedelkin. So which will take you, we'll say a intelligence check to kind of translate.
Okay, I'm writing this down. Can I have a second?
Oh yeah, no problem.
With rolling, is this just a straight intelligence check? Is this a history check?
Ooh, whichever one is higher.
History.
All right, go for it.
23.
All right. That would
Oh, actually, it's higher because it's a history check. I also get to roll a d4.
Oh, okay.
25.
Oh my God. I'm glad we got 25 guys. But well done. The door on the left says observation. And the door on the right says to the heart, to the ether's heart. Sorry, caution to the ether's heart.
Okay, so Talbot will go, this is interesting. Part of this is in Old Vedelkin language. Very old. The door on the left says observation. The door on the right has caution to Peter, caution to the ether heart.
Caution ether heart.
Thank you. Caution ether heart.
Iris is gonna ask if those were the only languages present. If that was the only present in the rooms.
On the runes, yes. You can make out some of the lettering if you have knowledge arcana, but it is kind of like a mix. It's woven in between Old Vedelkin and arcana.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So like you can make out some of the words and some of the letterings, but other than that, you wouldn't get the other half of it.
10-4. Okay, I just didn't know if there were other potential languages saying something else.
Yeah, not a problem. It's a good question.
You said the handle looks like the other lock, or it's like exactly the same.
It looks like a door handle with arcane runes on it.
Okay, so it's not necessarily like the one with like the when we did the 2, 4, 6, 8.
Who do we appreciate?
Does it look like that one?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay. Because if it did, Beryl was just gonna walk right up to it and say that.
Just want to remind my players how my jokes are sometimes funny.
They're always funny to you.
They are, and that's what matters sometimes.
Laugh or take a D4 damage. What?
Oh, I've been keeping track of that.
Yeah, I know. It's like sometimes when you throw a rock and you weren't meaning it.
That was a pretty rocky situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
But it's alright, because I rolled with it.
Hey.
In the end, Beryl got the point.
Alright, so what do you guys do at these 2 doors?
Should we go through the observation door?
Well, I mean, aren't we looking for the ether heart? Shouldn't we go through the ether heart door?
Yeah, but
This
maybe
is true.
there's something in the observation door that will give us a leg up when we go through the ether heart door.
Maybe it's like a window.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose caution ether heart seems a little blunt.
I vote we just peek in observation.
I'm for that.
Tetsu nods. I agree. Might I suggest I open the door?
I don't have a problem.
You can.
with
I-
the door.
I also... Oh, yes, I forget. You have arcane means of doing this as well. We should step back a little bit just in case they're trapped.
Alright. Beryl steps back.
And I will step 20 feet back away from the door.
Yeah, Tetsu's gonna be about 20 feet back from the door off to the side. So, like, if this is the wall that the door is on and the door is here, he is here. Like, hugging the wall off to the side, so that way, if it were, say, like, a blast that goes forward, he is nowhere near that.
Wait, aren't you the one opening it?
Yeah, you kind of
Yes.
need to be.
No, I've got mage hand.
Oh.
I also have it, and I was like, yeah, that's right. Tetsu, you did that, so I don't
I'm
need to...
like, I can do this without being in front of it.
This door handle weighs 5.7 pounds.
Oh, what?
Not a freaking bowling ball. Come on now.
I was
Or
about to say, well, you know what?
10.7.
This thing can handle up to 10.
Oh man, 10.1 pounds? Ah, too bad.
Fuck you, idiot. So, while he's off to the side again, sits there, does his hand signs that he always does, and then, well, they differ depending upon what he's doing, but it does his hand signs, and then mage hand kind of appears, just kind of swirls in, and then goes up to the door, grabs onto the handle, and slowly pulls it open.
Alright, so as it grabs onto the handle and attempts to pull it open, is Mage Hand a concentration check? Like, is it a concentration spell?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Alright. So as you do it in turn, your Mage Hand just gets shocked. And it actually does out.
It's like, fuck, man.
And you do feel it in your hand, but you don't feel like you feel that like shockiness, but no damage was applied.
Tetsu's gonna just kind of like look over at Talbot and then look back to the hand. Is there a way for it to possibly go under the door?
There is no. I mean, there is a crease, I guess, but you might be fudging it, like it might be really tight to actually fit anything underneath that door.
It's gonna give it a shot just to see.
Okay.
So
So
it's gonna go as it like squeeze as much as it can under as possible.
so as your mage hand goes through, about halfway through, your mage hand just dissipates.
He's then gonna look back at Talbot again.
Can I discern what is happening?
Can
Can I try and use my Arcana check to see what magical effect is happening?
Yeah, go ahead.
Teen?
15?
18.
18. Alright, you can assume it's some sort of absorption magic. That it just absorbs his spell magic that it triggered when it went halfway underneath the door.
So I can make out that if we attempt to use magic, it will absorb it, but if we attempt to open it manually, it will be just fine.
Possibly. It's one of those things to where it only activated when his hand went halfway through.
It appears that it only activated when the hand went halfway through. It appears to be some sort of absorption, magical absorption. Seems like it could be too dangerous, and we could just go to the other room.
Tetsu nods in agreement. Does the same thing just on the opposite side for the other door. Mage hand go up, grab, try to pull open.
Same thing will happen. Your hand will get shocked, but they would take the damage, and yours, you won't. But you'll feel a little like, tss.
Alright, we're gonna try this one more time underneath.
Same thing happens.
At this point, I would suggest we open the door manually.
Tetsu nods and goes, alright. He's gonna walk up to the other door, the observation one.
Before we open it up manually, we know there's magic on this door. We can assume possibly that there is a trap. Perhaps we should look for a way to disable magical traps before we try to manually open the door. Possibly. I mean, we just know there's magic on the door, so like maybe we could disable the magic. I could offer a little guidance if you are interested. It might help improve your investigational skills.
Can you see if the doors are trapped at all?
Tetsu's gonna see if he can find any traps.
Would you like guidance?
Yeah, why not?
All right. I'm just going to touch Tetsu on the shoulder. I'm going to pass guidance. And this will allow you to add a D4 and add the number to your ability check.
Oh.
Yeah, they do.
Ah. Come on. Alright, well, we'll add that. That's fine. We'll add that to these. And I'm guessing that's a investigation that I'm looking for, or would it be Arcana?
Investigation if you're looking for traps.
Yeah, if you're looking for a trap, it would be investigation.
Cool. That's what I figured. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Woo!
You find that no traps, like manual traps and everything. Just door with runes on it. Like a door handle with runes on it.
And we already know what the runes say, correct? Because Talbot took a look at those.
Those are what the rune said on top of it. The runes on the door handle are different.
Awesome. So, seeing the ones on the door handle, he's going to look back at Talbot and go, "We've got more runes here."
Allow me to take a look. Beryl, if you are able to give more guidance, I would be more than happy to take it.
Oh, for sure, friend. And tap Talbot on the shoulder and go, rocks be blessed.
I would like to look at those runes that are on the handle, see what they do, or see what they are.
They are shocking grasp.
These are shocking grasps.
Anyone know how to get rid of them?
Peter, how can I get rid of them?
Dispel magic.
Something I ain't got.
Nope.
Okay. Perhaps.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
I have an idea.
Anyone got a rock?
Can you guys give me 10 minutes and 6 seconds?
Dear God.
And after that, I'm throwing a rock.
I was thinking maybe we could just disfigure the runes. Would that deactivate them?
Only other way I know how is to dispel magic, but unfortunately, I do not possess that capability.
Tetsu, how many times can you mage hand?
As many as you need.
If I gave you one of my sharper, harder rocks, could your mage hand try to scratch the rune enough that it would be not that particular rune anymore?
See no reason why not.
All right. I'm going to dig around in my bag and I'm going to pull out one of my harder rocks, which is one of the smaller granite pieces, and I'm going to hand it to you. Here, try that one.
It's gonna, again, hand signs, and then the mage hand just kind of out of the air, just kind of. Then takes the stone and kind of goes over there and starts etching at it.
Where is everyone located?
I was 20 feet back.
Did I say 15 or did I say 20?
20.
You said 20.
Yeah, I was 20.
We're all 20 feet
Well,
back.
actually, technically, I went up to inspect it. I would have gone 20 feet back again.
Yeah.
I'm still in the middle of the room, just providing a running commentary.
Well, that's
You and Cole and Leander.
Okay. All right. So Tetsu, you're fully sketching out this rune.
Scratching.
You're fully scratching it out.
Yeah. The hand is just going to kind of sit there and just repeatedly sit there and try to score it out.
All right, give me a second.
Or even if it scores out one of the runes, technically that should be enough to nullify it, because then that's just going to cause it to disappear.
Well, it's either that or it activates the trap.
Pretty far away.
Which Talbot wasn't thinking about.
I gotta find it.
Good thing to hear.
Right. DM's gotta look something up. Great.
It's too many dice, guys.
Well, possibly. I just. Let's see. Really? Send that. No. Hold on. Might be. Okay, hold on. Do. Why is it not?
Shocking Grasp is a D8. Depending on what spell level. If it was done at 5th level, it's 2d8. 11th is 3d8. And it is an attack roll.
I get the feeling he ain't looking for that.
No, I'm not looking for that.
Yeah.
But I like this 3d8.
Fireball?
Let's add 3d8.
I don't let's add 3d8.
Let's make it an even number. All right.
2d8, that's great.
So as Tetsu scratches out the magical arcanate rune
My mage hand does.
to ruin / destroy the rune, exploding the magic within and all the other runes on the door handle. The shocking grass shoots out and travels through the caster's connection to the mage hand, hitting Tetsu. But Tetsu's able to make a dexterity saving throw.
That's my special. No! Give that back. Give that. Give that back. Get it out of there. And that one. I'm not using your tower anymore, it sucks.
Alright, so Tetsu would take this lightning straight at for 14 damage. It will then bounce to the closest nearest caster, who is closest to Tetsu. So Beryl, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Tetsu, did you use your uncanny dome?
Tetsu.
It's okay. Here, learn.
I don't. Can I?
9.
Beryl, you also take 14 points of damage. And who's closest to Beryl?
Peter.
Oh,
It's kind of me.
oh.
So Iris is in the middle of the room, and you're only 20 feet back from us.
So I'm thinking either Iris or Talbot would be closest to Beryl.
Because I interacted with Beryl.
Okay, so we'll go Talbot then. Talbot, go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw.
$17.
Okay, so 7 points of damage. And then Iris, make me a dexterity saving throw.
$23.
7 points of damage.
Okay.
So Peter.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to ask you, but you were doing other things. Am I able to use uncanny dodge on that?
What does it do?
So when an attacker you can see hits you with an attack, you can use a reaction to half the damage.
I'm gonna.
Focusing on that door, so that would have been technically me seeing.
Technically, you didn't know that it was going to attack you.
But I know that that's a possibility since it already got shocked.
Well, your hand got shocked. You actually never took damage.
But I knew that it was a possibility.
Well, there's a possibility for a lot of things. So I'm going to say no on this case. But we will try next time. And
The real
as
question is, did it work?
well, we'll get there. I gotta go for Leander, Core, and Senguine. As it goes to Senguine, he's able to dodge it for 7, and then when it goes to Core and Leander just sticks out his great axe and it just takes the lightning and sucks it up. But the door handle then falls off.
Got it.
Good to know that I'll need to go shopping once we're done to go get some dispelling of magic.
And maybe some potions for healing.
We have 2 clerics. Potions are unnecessary.
Speaking of which,
Incorrect. Sometimes our spells are needed for offensive reasons. Potions are always a good idea.
while we're on the subject of healing,
Yes, I am trying to see. Prayer of healing, is that something I can do ritually, or would I have to cast that as my second level spell slot? Does anybody know?
Prayer healing is not a ritual spell.
It's not? Alright.
It would have the ritual tag.
I wasn't sure because the casting time was 10 minutes, so I wasn't sure.
No, that is the actual casting time for the spell.
Alright. That case, I believe all my other ones are single persons. God dang it. I don't want to do a second level slot already. Fine. Alright. If we have 10 minutes, I can do prayer of healing and everybody can get a little bit of healing. Otherwise, I have to do individual and we'll just have to pick whoever's hurt worse.
Some of y'all should have potions.
Well, some of us who maybe didn't have to replace our characters.
No. Does Iris have potions?
Yes.
would she have the ones that Doro would have had?
No.
That's right, I did take all the stuff.
I gave you the gold, not the gear.
Damn it.
She technically has one of Mayai's because Mayai gave her and Senguine one with the inn incident.
And she still has his bag of holding.
No, you don't. You do not have the bag of holding.
No.
You do not have the bag of holding.
I mean, I have
Yeah.
mine, but
You need me to
Yeah,
get
you
you?
have yours, not his.
damn it.
You need me to get you?
You're a fucking bard, not a rogue. Calm down.
Okay. I'll be on my way.
Only enough room for
Okay.
one rogue in this group.
Don't worry. In 3 months, when Tetsu is gone and your character is gone, you can come in as a rogue.
No, I'm gonna be a wild magic barbarian, bitches.
I'm gonna kill you, but
Alright. So we'll have you guys figure out the healing. I'm going to have to go get Becca. So we're going to have to take our break here. So for those of you who are watching, tuning in the stream, I'm going to just leave the stream up to make it a little easier. We'll go ahead and put the chat that the stream will stay up. Or if Travis, you want to put the stream will stay up, we're just taking a break. I gotta go get Becca. For the YouTube channel, checking part 2. Should be a little bit longer than this. And a lot more exciting. But hey, we ended this part on some shockness. And Tetsu being Tetsu. I'm kidding. That was a good shot. And then I'll give you also the information, Kyle, when I can find it and how to do it. Tune in to part 2. We'll go ahead and get that going for you. See you lovely folks then.